Hi, I'm Jason Gayheimer along with Jared Chester. Today we're in London, Ohio, planning the corn closing wheel trial. This is a trial we've done for many years, drawn a lot of interest. We've drawn a lot of good data off this trial. Today's May 31st. And Jared, why don't you tell us a little bit about the conditions you guys are planting in today, along with, what wheels are you guys testing?
All right, so the conditions today, we finally started to dry back out after our last rainfall event. Really, the wind and a little bit of sun and heat we've got probably a half-inch crust on top, but once you get through that crust, there's plenty of moisture underneath. And the part of the farm that we actually placed this study in is not tiled, and it's a little bit tougher, tighter clay soil. So really, it's a great place to test and really maximize these closing wheel combinations that we got. So this year, we've got a control plus 4 combinations. Our control is our standard 2 rubber closing wheels. The next setup is we got our Schaffert zippers here on the right side of the planter. On the other side of the planter right now stage is the Copperhead Ag Furrow Cruisers. The other 2 combinations we're testing are the Schaffert Mohawks and also the Yetter poly closing wheels. So I'd say conditions are marginal to maybe a little bit better than marginal now that the wind's really blowing and the sun's shining and starting to dry out. But still, I think we're really putting these to the test, and we're going to see what aids in emergence, especially in those tougher conditions.
All right, Jared, why don't you tell us a little bit about what we're seeing here with a couple of these different closing wheels?
So right here is our standard closing wheel, our 2 rubbers, and this is actually on the 3rd of 4 pressure notch setting. So what you can see is we're a little bit wetter than what we call ideal conditions. So what happens, pretty much the way them rubber closing wheels are going to seal is just with pressing action. So there's no crumbling the sidewall. So really when we look at it, you can see it's really smeared this dirt and really packed it in. And even when we try and dig in that seed trench, it's really quite a bit of compaction. I think it's going to translate into season-long detrimental events to this crop, especially probably at emergence, because it's just packing it in. It's not really crumbling the sidewall. So we're going to probably see lasting effects with this for the rest of the season. As you can see, though, really, the conditions we're trying to target with this study is we can still make a mud ball. So general rule of thumb, farmers can do that under the top inch or 2 and they're not planting. So these are the conditions we're trying to push these closing wheels in and really see which ones can let us go in those marginal situations. So as we looked at our control, we saw a lot of smearing and compaction, but when we go to our first entry, it's the Schaffert Mohawk, and pretty well all the closing wheel combinations we're testing, the ideal behind is their spike closing wheels. So how they work, instead of pressing it and sealing that trench, basically what they're trying to do is shatter that sidewall. So come in here and cut it and then throw that loose dirt right over the furrow. So really we're thinking in these tough, heavier soil conditions that throwing that sidewall in and shattering it's really going to help that seedling emerge more uniformly and really take some of that compaction out of the trench.
So I want to take a little bit and talk about proper adjustment with some of these closing wheels. Like I mentioned before, we've seen a lot of good benefits from some of these different combinations, but if they are installed incorrectly, it's going to go backwards on you. So as you go from say a standard rubber closing wheel to a more aggressive wheel, maybe like the Schaffert zippers here, placement is very, very important. Making sure you got the right wheels on the right sides, making sure they're flipped the right way and spaced appropriately is very important. If you start getting some of these aggressive wheels a little too tight, you can actually start lodging some of that seed placement and really going backwards on what these type of closing wheels can do for you in terms of the benefits. So placement is very important. I know Jared and the guys take a pretty good amount of time to make sure when we do these trials that these things are adjusted properly and we're doing everything the right way, because if not, things are going to go back on us pretty quick. So as Jared mentioned, he's got the control out here as well as 4 different combinations. So 2 of those combinations are actually new this year, the Yetter Poly Spike and the Schaffert Mohawk wheels. Those are 2 new combinations that we haven't actually tested in our PFR prior to this year. So the other 2 combinations, the Schaffert zipper wheels, as well as the Copperhead Ag Furrow Cruisers, we've actually got some really good data on these wheels, and we're excited about being able to get another year's worth of data on those, hopefully positive yield results there. And we're gonna continue this trial to try to conduct different closing wheels out here and really try to pinpoint which wheels are best in which type of conditions, maybe no-till versus conventional tillage, and really dial it in for a grower, because we get a lot of questions on this topic. It's one of our most popular studies over the years. The other thing we're doing new this year is, for the first time, we're actually doing a closing wheel on soybeans. So we've got multiple locations where we're conducting a closing wheel study on soybeans as well. As well as we are looking at a new closing wheel attachment called the 4-link closer, which replaces the standard closing wheel tail. So we're really kind of diving into this closing wheel concept and really trying to evaluate where we can really get the most economic return with some of these attachments, some of these wheels. So stay tuned for the results in the 2017 PFR book. If you like this video, like or subscribe, or comment below using #AskPFR. Thank you and have a great day.